That's the thing about life too, man, is you, whatever happens to you, good or bad, like it's a fucking opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to fucking learn. So even if you're in the worst situation that goes horribly wrong and your life is ruined, it's an opportunity to get better at something. Like anything that comes along is that. And if you when you view life like that, you're always getting better. And that allows you to be in a fucking space where you're constantly growing. And so and also everything's a positive. Obviously there's some pain involved because life is life. Like things come and go, good and bad. But it's like when you're able to, even in the moment, you can in the moment take something as a positive. You can in the moment take something as a lesson, even if it's the worst thing that's ever happened to you. It's obviously you're going to have emotions. This is a very rational, logical fucking approach to things, but you're going to have emotions you're going to have to deal with, albeit. But it's like when you can get to a point where you are taking, no matter what happens, you're taking solace in the fact that it's a lesson. It's a lesson that's being taught to you. Whatever you're going through, however badly you deal with it, however well you deal with it, however you fuck it up, however you knock it out of the park, however great that you fucking do, however badly you do, you're going to learn from that shit and you're going to get better the next time. And that's what you do until you die, basically. And if you do that if you do that every day of your life until you die, you think of all the shit you're going to fucking think of the place you're going to get to. So it's like, that's the thing too about life is people take shit so seriously. It's like, dude, you're getting somewhere. Okay. The only way you're not going to get somewhere is if you take everything as good as actually good or bad, and you live with the negative as if it's a negative. No, it's not a negative. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to get better. It's an opportunity to learn something. It's an opportunity to go through a situation. It's an opportunity to have an experience that you might not have had otherwise. It's like when you're in these places and these negative places in your life, the places you could get lost in, you might never get out of. It's like it's your choice how you want to fucking perceive things. And actually, life is in the perception. The way you perceive life is the way that life happens. And what you perceive and the emotions that you get into yourself will manifest and come back to you. So even if it's a negative, you can immediately turn it. You can immediately bring positive situations into the fucking fold. You can bring positive emotions into the fold immediately. Even if you're saying if something horribly negative happens, right away you can be like, you can have gratitude. You can immediately have gratitude for the fact that you even have an opportunity to learn something. And now, instead of living in a negative emotion for however long you were going to, because this thing happened to you and blah, 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 and now you've had a bad week, now you've had a bad month, maybe you had a bad decade. No, fuck that. Something bad happened. Now immediately you're grateful because you have an opportunity to learn something. And now you're having positive emotions and everything tends to snowball. Momentum is very real. Things will start to accumulate. If you start to have positive experiences, you're going to have more of them. You start to have negative experiences, you're going to have more of them. So even negative shit does happen, but it's your choice. You can fucking turn the boat. Your orientation and your direction, your vector of motion is yours to set. And don't let the world dictate where you're going. Don't be reactive to the world. Respond to it with a choice, it's an opportunity to learn something. That's a positive. That's a fucking positive, man. And you're grateful. You're grateful for the opportunity. And gratitude is a powerful emotion, man, because when you feel grateful, that means something good happened to you. And when you feel grateful, you're going to feel more grateful shit. And so more good shit's going to happen to you because you feel gratitude. Even if that's like a trick. That's a life hack right there, man. Is if something bad happens to you, immediately you're grateful because it's a lesson, something to learn from. And now that you're feeling grateful, you're starting to manifest positivity and good things are going to happen. So that you can experience more positivity and gratitude. So it's this thing about life where like you have to see the end of the road and where you're going to be before you know how you're going to get there. It doesn't even matter what's going to happen. That's the thing. You just know down the road, I'm going to feel gratitude. You have no idea what it's from, but gratitude is always something that comes from a positive. Even if you spin a negative into a positive. And you may think that, oh, you're fooling yourself, Patrick. Well, no. This is how life is in the perception of it. Life doesn't just happen. Like we are creating our existence. And we get to choose how we do that. Like it's an absolute, that is the agency of life, is that we get to take situations and decide how we're going to process it and how we're going to move forward. And that in turn dictates what we experience flowing from that. So it's like you are in control of that. Like that, don't ever lose sight of the fact that you are in control of your perception and your mind and the way that you view the world and the way that you process things that happen are ultimately the most important shit, because that's going to determine what happens to you later down the road. So, I mean, it's tough. It's tough because if a negative thing happens to you, your natural reaction is going to have negative emotions, and then process it for like a millisecond, feel it for a second, but then replace that shit with gratitude, because you get to learn something, you get to get better today, and you get to grow, and you get to become something more than you were. And that's a fucking blessing, man. Blessings create more blessings.